I said Batcave just to be cool, but honestly, just like an underground floor, just like a complete underground floor where it's like a secret thing in the driveway that lifts up and you can drive down. You know?
Okay, like cool. We're going for ambiance. Hey guys, it's Alexis from the Cinco Granny team here again with Let's Taco about real estate here on a Tuesday. Today I have another team member of mine from the Cinco Granny team, Mario. Thank you for coming aboard.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
No, I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule between being an agent and doing everything that you do. I'm sure your time is very valuable, so I do appreciate it.
No, absolutely.
My biggest thing that I want to get across to this people that are listening in on this podcast is kind of get them to understand what it really goes into the world of real estate. It's a lot more than just, the common misconceptions that are out there, or how easy our jobs are, or whatever the case may be. Or that we don't do nothing? Or that we don't do anything.
We just sit around and get paid? Yeah.
I feel like that's with any job and any career. I feel like there's always a stigma behind it. But I just want to be able to get people to know that there are people that really do take this profession seriously. There's people that care. There's people that are humans as well as them, who go through the same processes as them, who maybe have a little bit more insight or are able to help them align with their goals. So that's really what I'm hoping to get through to people. And I feel like we can get that through with you. So
and I think something to point out and have the same feelings as them too.
Most definitely.
Sometimes we've been through the same situations they're going through. Like you bought your first house. I bought my first house. It's a nerve-wracking. Even when you buy the second, third one, doesn't matter. It's nerve-wracking. So you kind of need to show your client that you understand the emotions they're going through. It's not just like, okay, like sign here, this is the deal, sign that. You can't be monotone. You got to get emotionally involved as well. And I think that just solidifies a connection,
Even with their emotions, right? Because to your point, people do have a lot of emotions that are tacked on when making arguably one of the most expensive purchases that they are ever going to have in their lives, right?
Yeah,
whether they do it once or twice. Yeah. So there are a lot of nerves to it. There is a lot of emotions. There is a lot of second guesses. Even when I'm purchasing something that's, I don't know, let's just call it $20 at the store. Sometimes I'm like, Alexis, do you need it? And that's $20. Yeah. Like, I can only imagine something that's $200 or upwards of more. I mean, especially in certain areas of where you are. But I mean, there is, you can't have that one step fits all, right? Or that one size fits all, excuse me. That's just not how this business, I think, should be ran. Is it ran in that certain situations? Yes, most definitely. People get to practice business however they want to practice business. Does that make it right? No. Does it happen? Yeah. But not everybody's like that. And that's why I feel that our team is something that is different from other teams that I've seen in my early days of being on this side of an agent. And I can already see the differences in the way that people choose to, whether it's from their brokerage or the teams that they're in or property management. Some people I love transacting with. I call them to ask them about a client, and I get them on the phone, and I'm like, wow, this was great. They made me feel great. They didn't even know who I was when answering the phone, right? Where others, I just get, hello?
Yeah. Like the intros.
Like there's as if I'm like bothering them. And I could very much be a client.
I've gotten, what do you want? From other agents. We're talking about rental listings, and I get, what do you want?
That's insane. And that's not how you hold, whether you're in that transaction for them as a property manager, a buyer, a seller, a listing, whatever that may look, you have to have their interest and what is best for them top of mind, or don't take them on as a client. That's my biggest philosophy. Do not, if you cannot do right in business or right by your customer, then don't take their business. Yeah. Because you're just hindering them, right? It just doesn't make sense. If you're calling another agent about a rental, and they don't even want to give you any insight or at least be personable, well, then who's going to want to show that house? Or even if they do want to work with you, like some of them make it so hard to see some of these showings that it's ridiculous. That I wonder if the owners know what that life is like. I have some that I can't even see things on Saturday and Sunday. Yeah. What do you mean? Yeah. I can't see a home on Saturday or Sunday. Yeah. That doesn't make sense. Some people some people are coming in from out of state that can only have Saturday or Sunday. Yeah. That's not in your client's best interest because you chose to not work on a Saturday or Sunday. So, and I don't mean to throw anybody under the bus, but it comes to a point in a time where, as real estate professionals that we are, I'm tired of getting blamed for wrong actions that I haven't even committed or thought of committing because it's not in my business.
Yeah, it's like you fit that criteria. Like you say you're a real estate agent, people say, oh, you're a real estate agent. It's like already in a negative sense. It's like, well, what did you deal with? You know what I mean? But even going back to that point, because it was in the best interest of my client, I actually still showed that property. Mm-hmm. Even though I got zero information, my client liked that house. All I wanted to ask if there was any other apps.
Just a simple question, just so time's not wasted.
And all I got was, what does it even matter? And I'm like, you're out of maybe like 1,000 calls I made like that. First person that just doesn't just answer the question, but I still showed it.
Well, we have to.
Yeah, of course, it's my part.
We don't have to.
At the end of the day, I know it's the agent. It's not the owner. It's not, it's not my client, but I'm doing my part. Did they put in an app? Yeah. Did they get accepted? No, and that's okay, but I did my part. And then we move on. But yeah, you'll be surprised, especially I get very shocked when it comes to rentals. Because, in downtime, we have our wonderful teammate, Yessie. She got so many leads for rentals. So I hit them up. And especially when you don't have nothing to do, at least do that. And you start converting them, and it turns out to be actually profitable when you're doing quite a bit, of them a month. And next year they might buy.
And it helps them. Yeah. I feel like those, no matter what side of a transaction they're on, or what stages they are in their buying process or housing process, they matter just as much as somebody that's buying, right? It doesn't have to matter about the monetary value that's attached onto it. But just like you said, we just want great results for them. And we just want answers, and we're their advocate and getting those answers and making sure that we're answering questions before going and showing them the property, because whether it's based off of credit score or whatever that case may be, like we want to make sure that when they're putting in these applications that we're not wasting our time and they're losing their money in that application fee or whatever that case may be for them. It's not always just, oh, let me go show you a house and let me just go put you into this rental. Like there's a lot more that's to it. And there's so many agents that aren't even willing to do that, let alone even answer simple questions like for you, for instance. And it's insane. And it really, I'm not going to say that's the reason that got me into real estate, but it's something that now that I fight for. Yeah. I'm going to fight for the client every single day. I know that our team fights for the client every single day, and it's night and day compared to some of the agents that are out in this industry, and who knows how long they'll be in business. I can't imagine long.
As long as they're paying for the license.
Being
an agent is an expensive sport per year, let me tell you. Hey, if you got money to throw away, you want to keep paying for your license, you can still be an agent. It's okay.
Yeah, no. If you don't, that's a very fair point. Do things need to change in a sense in the real estate industry? Maybe, honestly. Yeah. If I didn't really know everything that it took to become an agent beforehand, I would have been very disappointed my first month. Yeah. My second month.
It's hard.
My third month. I'm going on barely my fourth month. And have I had those emotions where I'm like, wow, this is.
So I want to throw the towel.
Yeah, I have. Because I'm human, right?
Yeah, no, of
And
course.
and anything, sometimes we want instant gratification, but that's just not. Sometimes the best things in life, they take the longest and they're
Yeah.
the hardest to fight for.
Hmm.
And that's really what I feel like real estate is, whether you're on the agent side or the consumer side, however that looks for you. This is hard.
Yeah.
This isn't just I'm gonna go buy this property and then it's gonna make me money and that's it. Like there's a lot more to it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like you said, when you got into it, I mean, you came from a different background. So did I. We lived all our lives in a matrix where we literally know per hour of work what we're getting paid.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. You go in, you work. That day, you know how much money you're going to make. In real estate, you'll literally put in the same work and make nothing, right? Because
work
you're
more hours.
prospecting, you work more hours, you're trying to meet new clients, you're door knocking, you're doing this. This took a lot of work to prepare, right? And for quote unquote nothing at the moment, right? But it is going to pay off at the end, and it's going to educate yourself on how to prepare for these things. You know, getting into real estate is really hard. I think the only thing I would have done different is I would have prepared a little bit more, right? Meaning as I would have had more, I don't know, let's say, what is it called? Reserve funds to be able to be in this industry and be comfortable at least for the first year versus like 6 months in working and it's like, oh shit, what do I do now? You know what I mean? Like I have to take away from the business to make it grow. Now I got to do this other thing to pay the bills or maintain or whatever. But at the end of the day, if you time management everything properly, you can still do it. You can still do it. It's and you got to do it like you did. Like Zach said earlier, it's incredible the way you just dived in 100% into this, and you're doing a lot more already than a lot of the veterans. They got comfortable. Maybe they already have a long list, a notebook full of clients that me and you don't have, which is why maybe they're comfortable and they kind of sit back now and just take calls or the clients. When's the next house? Cool. Well, we don't have that, right?
No, we don't have that luxury.
Because me and you, we started, well, I started a little bit before you, but essentially me and you are kind of on the same boat, but you're already light years ahead of me, to be honest, right? But you dedicated yourself to it, and that's a beautiful thing, and that's something I tip my hat to you. Don't have to, but I make decisions to go into other avenues and try different things, which is taken away from this, and you had Zach earlier. He's, essentially my partner. He got me into this. He always tells me, it's like, bro, when you miss out 1 week of prospecting of work, that puts you behind a month. Believe it or not just a week. It puts you behind a month. Now you go 2 weeks, you stop prospecting and do other stuff for a month, you just lost a whole year. It puts you behind, and that is very true. So it's just consistency is key, and you're super freaking consistent. I admire that. I can't get myself to that. I need to. I'm getting there. Luckily, Zach, he's always on me about it. And you need to have those type of relationships with friends and colleagues that will push you. The type of friends that can tell you to wake the fuck up and get going, or you're being lazy, or things like that. And it's not gonna offend you, because at the end of the day, they're just telling you the truth. So you just got to get going. Put your working hat on and walk out the door and get to hustling, because that's the only way you're going to do it.
And we're going to do it as a team.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in it. That's why I chose the team. I outweighed my options of being a solo agent versus a team. I actually was going to, when I got my license, I had signed on to be a solo agent with a mentor.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't get over interviewing with Brendan, our leader. Our leader!
Spartans! Oh.
And I could not get over the conversation that we had, and I had let him know like all of my goals and everything that I was looking to achieve in real estate, and myself, and what I was looking for. I took what I wanted for myself, and then I put myself in my client and future clients' eyes, and I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
If I can do this for myself through clients and help them get to their end point, Well, wow,
Yeah.
that's something, right?
Yeah.
And that's investing and it's hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not just something like you can go buy a house off the MLS, off of, best price that you can, and then make money off of it. I
Yeah, I
mean, in
mean, there's
Vegas you
different
can,
markets. I mean, there's different markets. We're not that there now.
but we are
You
going to
can't
be.
pay whatever you want to pay. Obviously, you gotta pony up some money if you want to win some bids. But it's there was a market like that, where it was a buyer's market that you could offer below, or
And profit right off of the
yeah,
bat.
yeah, absolutely. But with all the people coming in, and I just feel like this market, it's a very healthy market, to be honest. I think, and that's really calm, by the way. As an agent, this thing just never stops, 24/7. Because I know you have two, so you're double trouble than me. That's the reason I put it on the table, because I have to look to see if the screen pops up to see who it is. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's a funny thing.
Well, and you dibble and dabbles, and you
I
do
do.
you know a lot more, especially on the reconstruction side because you do it for your own
Yeah.
properties.
Yeah.
So let's dive into that a little bit. Let's talk
Yeah.
about what have you seen right now that is bringing people the highest ROI. And for those of you that don't know what a ROI is, it's the biggest return on investment, the capital deployed into a property,
Yeah.
and then the percentage that you're getting back from that. Is it something like bathroom renovations? Is it kitchen renovations? Like I know those are the biggest things, but let's talk more about what is more specific in the Las Vegas market since we are here. And
Yeah, so I mean, here basically what I see is kitchens. Kitchens and master bedroom. That can either make or break a deal. One thing that I notice people don't really care about is colors. So, if you're going to sell your house, as long as it's not bright pink and highlighter green inside, don't worry about it. Like, it's whoever goes in and gets it, they're probably going to paint it anyway, so that's not going to be a factor in the transaction. But the first thing, especially the wives go is check out the master restroom. And then they walk into the
okay,
kitchen and they're like, is it a nice kitchen? So that's what I see. That's usually restroom, kitchen. And then the next one is flooring. We have like everybody has LVP flooring
oh
now.
my
And
gosh, there's so many flooring options now.
I know there's like a warehouse full of different flooring, and they all look like wood, but different kind of wood, and it's
Water resistant wood,
yeah.
wood that'll just keep water
I
on
know,
there
right?
for 9 hours, but it will soak in at 9:01. Like it's wild.
Hey, it happens. It happens. Hey, you have a water line burst in your refrigerator, you're gonna be really happy you had that flooring, because if you don't, it starts to swell. So that's the main thing. I love tile. I don't know why people are going away from tile. I think tile is beautiful. I think maybe because it's expensive, and if you don't have like a heater on the underlayment, it's super cold, especially in this weather. But I like it. I don't know. I always run super hot. I feel like I'm always overheating. So in my house, I did tile everywhere. So after a crazy day, sometimes I just get there and just lay on the floor, and it feels great. But those are the two things, or three things, sorry.
And what a little bit more deeper into that. So I know like just saying upgrades is very like one dimensional, right?
Yeah.
And when we're doing these upgrades, like what are you seeing as like a price point that somebody can either look to be spending in like a bathroom or a kitchen, or what are the biggest attributes to doing like a remodel of a bathroom or a kitchen? Let's start with the master bathroom.
Master bathroom. I mean, I don't really want to throw out numbers out there, because there's going to be a lot of people like, oh, that guy's a fucking moron. Like, he's
Okay,
ripping
let's not
people
throw
off
out
or
numbers.
whatever.
Let's throw out.
I don't care. I'm going to tell you what I pay. My experience.
Okay.
If I'm getting ripped off, cool. But it is what it is. And remember, the construction market is like the real estate market. It is not the same. And you're in fucking El Paso, Texas, and telling me $10,000 to redo a bathroom that I'm ripping people off. Okay, like how much is
I'm
it in
in
El Paso,
Bismarck.
Texas? Yeah, like I should buy a house over there instead and make you rebuild the whole restroom for $3,000 if that's what it is. But it's just the cost of labor. It's different in different regions. So here, usually all in, and when you say remodel, one of the things that I notice people hate everything every time it has to go is that stupid shower tub combo from the 90s. And the 80s and the 90s. You know how it was?
Yes.
Yeah, that big ass tub in the corner, the small shower combo. Every time that has to go. I think people back then, that's when children were being made, you know. Nowadays, we're all young adults, so everybody just wants a nice big shower with the rainfall, you know, from the ceiling or whatnot.
One is a lot more predominant. The bathtub is starting to go away. Some people are still soakers, so I guess it really does range from who is doing the remodeling. And that's a really good point. And I hope when people do these remodels that they take into consideration what is ideal for them is not ideal for the next consumer.
And for the future, yeah. So you kind of want to please a little bit of everybody, right?
Right.
Because the plan is not to stay there forever. You know, you want to keep adding homes to your portfolio. Well, one of the things you want to make sure is that there is at least one bathtub in the whole house. Because at the end of the day, whoever gets there in the future, if it's not you, at some point there might be small children or babies, and they need that to, you know, to be able to take care of their hygiene. So you want to make sure that you have that there, because that could be a deal breaker.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong, you can have some decked out crazy showers, but it's like, oh, you know, my wife's expecting, we're going to have a baby soon, or we have a 2-year-old, he needs a tub, you know. I don't know about you, but you ever tried, you have kids, right? Yeah. Well, sometimes that's like the only time you have a little bit of peace. You just throw them in there, throw some ducks, some whatever, some Hot Wheels, even though they drown, who cares? But at least they're entertained, and you can just sit there in the toilet like, oh, all right, now I can think a little bit, you know, I can rest. But it's, you got to please everybody. At the end of the day, it's your money. You can do whatever you want. If you want all showers, then do all showers, you know, by all means. But back to your initial question, yeah, for a master tub, I mean, I've seen from, you know, 15 to 25,000 just in the master restroom.
And it depends on what they're going for, and that's
fully decked out. That's everything. I mean, you're removing, that's demolishing that stupid combo I'm telling you about.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's a whole
gone.
demo and
redoing all the plumbing, all the drains, all the work that I've done. Everybody loves the tile to the ceiling. We're not doing the tile up to there anymore. Like, no, all the way to the ceiling.
Oh yeah.
So it feels like you're submerged in there. Like, I like the restroom to be kind of like an experience, right? So that's doing that, you know, new vanities, some those really cool mirrors now that you touch them and they light up, and a bidet, you know. I don't know if you ever had a bidet, but Jesus Christ, that's a life changer.
You can't go back, huh?
You cannot go back. Nope. I heard they had those everywhere in Japan. Well, they should have had them here in the U.S. because, yeah, I got one. I go on vacation. I don't even miss my kids. I miss my bidet. That's a lie. I miss my kids. My wife's going to kill me. No, I do miss my kids and my wife when I go out of town. But when I get home, first thing I do is I run to my restroom because that thing is awesome.
I've lost control. No, just no, but this is all great stuff. And it's stuff that people need to consider when they're purchasing a house. My rule of thumb is when purchasing a house, you don't always want the turnkey ready property. Like, you want a property that you can at least add some value into the property.
Yeah.
Just for, if you are only looking to stay in the property a year or 2 years, well, then you've made your money back, and then you can take those proceeds, depending on that market and that certain future, and then push it into the next property, right? And that's really what it's like chess. You may not like chess, but you should think like chess.
Yeah.
You should always think of the next step ahead. And that's really what it comes down to in purchasing a house or investing in a house. And there's a lot of things that people just don't ask and they don't know. Where do you see, I know we're not fortune tellers, right? I know that we can't just rub something or go talk to something and it tells us where we see the next 5 years. But from you living here and you being a local and you're here every single day, where do you see Vegas going in the next 5 years in terms of housing?
Oh, let me get my crystal ball real quick.
Oh, please do.
No, I'm kidding. So I mean, the facts are that we do know. I mean, I'm sure you should know. There is, I don't know if it was like 13 or 15 billion dollars in projects that are coming here to Las Vegas in the next couple years. I mean, we have what Hollywood 2.0 being built, so there's going to be a lot of stuff coming here in the next 5 years. So there's definitely going to be. I mean, there's already people coming nonstop, moving here and things like that. When it comes to the housing, I mean, like you said, you can't, you can't, you can say one thing and then you're wrong and then you're criticized for that.
Yeah.
You can say the right thing and then you're right and they're going to say he guessed or he got lucky, So I don't know.
There's
I'm
always
just gonna
that
say
stigma
I don't
to
know.
it. But I mean, with everything that you've said, right? With all of those, even to the point of just the Hollywood point 2.0, right? We see the prices of LA. We
Yeah.
see the prices of that part of California. I mean, a majority part of California, right?
Yeah.
It's expensive to live there, in housing terms and expenses. Well, let's just stick to housing, right?
Yeah.
Housing is very expensive to be able to afford to live there.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, or fortunately, however you decide, whichever side of the glass that you're on, because you are your own person and you get to see whether the glass is half full or half empty.
Yeah.
Vegas is appreciating. It's not stopping.
No, it definitely is. And honestly, even the only thing, because you think about real estate, you have your group of friends that you're really close to, and you think, well, if I buy now, it might go down and I'm going to lose. And honestly, from the first time that I bought to now, the only regret I have, and literally every person in my life that I know that we have, is that we didn't buy more.
And that's something.
Yeah, especially when the opportunities were there. I mean, there was opportunities where a buddy of mine, my old coworker, his wife was a real estate agent. She was selling me 3 condos for $30,000 each, but I had to buy all 3. It was $90,000. My dumbass went and bought a house for 110, fully renovated. This was in '08. I should have done the other thing, but to me, I was like, oh no, I want a big backyard. I want a corner house. I didn't think in the future.
No.
I thought, I'm gonna have my little shed in the back. I'm gonna build like
You
a
saw
garage
the
to work on
now.
cars. I saw the now, but luckily, I still bought the house. So
No,
it
you
was
still got
okay.
into the market.
I
But
got
when
into the
you-
market, but man, I messed that up.
When
so
you
bad.
reworked your portfolio and thought about what could have
Yeah.
transpired from the 3 different condos, and that's
Yeah.
I guess that's my biggest point in this podcast is talk to somebody, and don't just talk to somebody just to talk to somebody. Talk
Yeah.
to somebody that knows something,
Yeah.
or
Have a
they may
purpose.
not know everything,
Yeah.
but I can guarantee if you're talking to the right person, they're going to figure out those answers for you. They're going to be able to point you in directions, or they're going to go out their way to make sure that this transaction is by far the smoothest transaction that you're able to overcome, even when it has hurdles. Because even the best agents, they have deals that are they have to jump through hoops.
Yeah.
Even when dealing with renters, there's a lot of things that I've had to do early on
Yeah.
where I've had to make things transpire from a lot of negative.
Yeah.
And that took time from me having to figure out, all right, how do I go about this?
Yeah.
How do I reach as many people as I can to make sure that my client can get into this? Figuring out ways of getting to what it is that they're truly wanting opposed to what they need, right?
Yeah.
Being able to just cancel out those wants and more focusing on those needs and keeping them focused in what their mission is right now. That way we can transact right now, because we can't always wait.
Yeah, no, and that has to do, I mean, we don't bombard you with questions to be fucking annoying. That's just part of like the interview process for your client, because you need to know what they need and what they want. And it's like, okay, like even for rentals, as simple as that, it's like, what can you live without? Especially if you have a budget in mind or whatever. I don't ask you all these questions because some people don't want to tell you what their credit is. Or how much money I don't know why people lie how much money they make, and they always go up and not down. It doesn't help you. If you tell me and you're honest how much money you make, because we have these simple rulings, what does every listing say? You got to make 3 times the rent as gross income, right? Well, if you're not making it, why are we looking at that house? Why am I getting you excited? You're looking at this rental for, $5,000 a month when you make $8,000 a month.
Right.
Even if you don't have a single bill, other than you just get your income, it doesn't matter. That is a prerequisite, so that's why we ask these things. And it just makes it quicker and more efficient.
We should be asking those questions because we don't want to steer somebody into, even if they do get approved. Because I've gotten people approved that don't always, quote unquote, make
for
3
sure.
times
Yeah,
the rent.
you don't want to be house poor.
But I always make sure that when I'm asking these questions, that they're comfortable with this payment.
Yeah.
I can get you into anything you want. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
I guarantee that I can find somebody that would want to transact with you.
Yeah.
But is it in your best interest? Maybe not. And that's what it is for us to get out of them on what makes sense and what they're comfortable with. And the last thing that we ever want to happen is what happened in '08.
Yeah.
That was a terrible time for the housing industry. That was a terrible time it affected housing.
Yeah.
It affected, I mean, there's so many people that I talk to on a daily basis that are still in that PTSD mindset of what happened from that, because that was real. That really happened. That was a real situation. People really, when deals went under, their financials went under. So it's something that we need to be considerate of. And as agents, we need to understand that we need to ask the right questions to be able to direct them to their goals and be able to help funnel them for what's good for them.
Yeah, of course. And like you mentioned earlier, about getting answers and making sure your client is comfortable, all that trickles down to your team, right? Because at the end of the day, there's a lot of questions that they ask and a lot of subjects that they want to touch upon. You're not an expert on it. I'm sorry, you're not. You're a real estate agent. That's what your expertise are. Somebody starts talking about lending and money and loan. That's not your place, right? And we found those people. I'm saying our team is amazing. Our lending team that we have, phenomenal. And it helps to have those people close to you because they will answer the call immediately. If your client has a question, you can connect those two, and they feel comfortable because they know that's somebody that's part of your team, right? It's not just a stranger. You didn't just go to Yelp and look up, best lender in Las Vegas. Oh, I'm going to call that one.
No, you interviewed them. You did your due diligence.
Yeah, of course.
And that's my biggest part about, especially as a new agent, I feel like I have this way of being able to build my own business from ground one. And I have it embedded in me that I will refuse to do business with any vendor, if they do not act in the client's best interest. Like from the moment that I catch a whiff as if you're not transacting in my client's best interest and you're transacting in the best interest of you or your company, then our business is done.
And you have a lot to lose too if you continue with that business. You know what I mean?
Because I have everything
you guys signed documents saying that you
I have fiduciary duties to my client.
So
and
it's like you have something to lose as well. But do weird transactions happen in shady business? Yeah, sure it does. I mean, in any business it does. But I don't want to be part of it,
No, I don't either.
You can do the right thing, and you can still be satisfied with what you did. And at the end of the day, you're going to sleep well, know that you did the best that you could for your client. And they're going to go tell 25 people they know about you.
Right?
That's the whole point. That's how you want to grow your business, is by doing good actions. And from there, it just spreads like wildfire.
No, and that just transpires from doing good business.
Yeah.
And on good business notes, I have some tacos for you.
Oh, my God.
I do. This is a little fun segment of the podcast that I do. It's just something I'm going to be able to ask you some fun questions and be able to. I am running a little bit dry.
Well, you brought tacos, so I brought something for you as well.
I love a guest that brings something.
Get you some tequila.
Tequila.
We got tacos. They put bean on the fucking tacos? What?
I know. I saw
Who does that? Oh, I know who does. Tacos, the eyebrows. Las cejas is eyebrows.
Las cejas. Okay,
las cejas,
so he brought
cejas.
us to the point. These tacos are from Tacos Los Cejas.
Las.
Las Cejas.
Las cejas.
Which is
Eyebrows.
Las Eyebrows.
Yeah, the eyebrows.
The eyebrows.
They look amazing though. I've just never. I don't know. I've never seen put beans on the tacos. You know.
All right, so this is gonna bring me to my first question.
Yeah.
If your home came with a personal butler or a taco chef, which one would you prefer?
Personal butler or a taco chef?
The
Believe
butler
it or not,
doesn't cook for you. That's the stigma. They only do other butler things. I
mean, I don't know. Believe it or not, like to me, because I'm Mexican. I was actually raised in Mexico. Tacos not a big deal to me. We don't eat tacos a lot. We only eat tacos when we're drunk as shit and we just want to cook. So I'll take the butler. Because, I hate sweeping and mopping. That's always an argument with my wife. So if he can do that, if he can sweep and mop, I will love that butler, dude. Tacos is not a big deal to me. Now, if you told me, you can't have mole or not mole, sorry, menudo or, chocolate enchiladas for the rest of your life, then yeah, fuck it, I'll have that instead. But I'll take the butler.
You'll take the butler?
I'll take the butler, dude. Yeah. Hell yeah. What else you got?
What's one of the weirdest requests that a renter, buyer, or seller has asked in a transaction?
So,
let me ask that better. I wasn't even looking at the camera.
Oh, you're good. Reset.
What is one of the weirdest requests that either a renter, buyer, or seller has ever asked you in a transaction?
So it wasn't necessarily a request. So this was after I got the renter into the spot, right? I mean, I guess it was a request. Dude, it was to literally move a fucking rock this big from the center of the side gate. Mind you, my client needs to open that side gate to get his big ass dually in the back with the trailer. Well, the rock was there. The owner didn't want anything in this front yard touched, like moved at all. And
Not even the rock?
Any landscaping cannot be touched at all. So that just became a whole thing. And it just, I don't know. I don't know how it became a thing, to be honest, Alexis, because to me, it's like, if it's bugging me, just move it and then put it back. But my client didn't want to move it because he's out of respect, told the owner, and they sent a landscaping guy over there only to tell him that the owner said not to move it. I don't know if he thought it was like a decorative rock, like a big fixture or something.
I'm sure there was a miscommunication in there. There was. Definitely. He probably thought that they meant like a structural
he lost
work.
It. And it sucks because that sets the, what is it, precedent or the attitude? I don't know. That sets like kind of the attitude the guy's going to have throughout his lease. Because he's like, dude, I can't move a fucking rock. Like, he was pissed. And he called me screaming, and I'm like, no, I don't want to tell you what to do, bro, but just move it. Just move it and put it back, dude. Come on.
But that's when it comes personal, as us with agents, right? Yeah. That's what, I mean, nobody... You don't have to do business like that, but it's better to just, and I'm sure that you were very personal with him, and you were just like, yes, come on, like, you can just move the rock. And
honestly, had he not called the agent and gone crazy and just called me, I would have just gone and moved it, get his dually in, and then put it back. I don't know. Maybe I'm in the wrong. Somebody in the comments can tell me maybe I'm not supposed to do that, but it's a rock. It's a small rock.
It's a small.
This cup is the size of the rock. Come on. But yeah, that was the weirdest thing to me. I'm sorry.
All right, I have one more.
Tell me.
If you could have any upgrade in your home and money was no monetary value, what would that upgrade be?
Fucking bat cave.
A bat cave.
Yep. Underground.
Is it going to be completely as a bat cave or a bat cave to you?
I said bat cave just to be cool, but honestly, just like an underground floor, just like a complete underground floor where it's like a secret thing in the driveway that lifts up and you can drive down. You know?
Okay, like cool. We're going for ambiance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And what would be in the bat cave?
Shit, I didn't think that far. You move quick.
Sorry.
I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with this taco and beans on top of it. It's good, by the way.
These are really good tacos.
At first, I know I made fun of it, but no, it's actually really good.
Like,
that's a
this
great idea.
carne asada is
They're phenomenal. Somebody's grandma made this carne asada for sure.
if eyebrows sponsor us, it'll be worth it.
Hey, I'll put this sticker in the side of my car. I don't care. Just have my business card in your location. I'll put your sticker in the side of my car. I drive around everywhere, so everybody will see it.
No, I appreciate you taking the time to come out on here on this podcast. I appreciate you being able to explain what it is that people should look into, whether they're investing or, remodeling in their home.
Yeah.
Things from the renter side. I'm glad that we can kind of coexist on that.
Yeah.
Especially being as a new agent. Sometimes I do feel like I have little man syndrome, or like I'm not doing enough, but I feel like we're on the same wavelength, and we're gonna get deals. We're gonna get, because we're here for the clients. And you, my hat's off to you. You have found ways to make this business go more for you, and your lifestyle, and I hope you know that even if you don't see it, you've done a lot on both sides of the spectrum. So thank you. I'm glad that you're a part of this team. I appreciate all my viewers for coming out and watching Let's Talk About Real Estate. I'm Alexis with the Cinco Granny team. I'll see you next Tuesday, and have a good night.
Oh, a shooting range. That's what I would have on the ground. Just thought about it. Shooting range. Let's go.
Let's go. I appreciate you, Mario, coming on my podcast. Where can the viewers find you at if they want to know a little bit more about you? I'm sure that you hit home with a lot of people. I'm sure that they were like, you know what? That guy's for me.
Thank you. Don't say that to my wife.
No.
She'll be pissed. I'm gonna get home to a fucking chancla, dude, when I walk in. Unfortunately, I'm just honestly, I don't even know what my Instagram is, but I'm gonna say the same thing as Zach. Best way to reach me is by phone. You can call me. My phone number is 702-321-3064. That's the best way.
And we're part of the Cinco Granny team. Honestly, if you're looking at homes, please go to Search Homes in Vegas site. There's a lot of great homes on that site. We'll be able to navigate you and your real estate needs, or even just the questions that you have. I cannot stress this enough. Please speak to any professional, whether it's a mortgage lender, an agent, whoever that may look for you, however you think that starting position is for you. Just have those conversations.